I'm Jordan Belfort, and this is Sales School. Great story here. I want to talk about the power of unconscious communication, but really in the form of body language. I was in Mongolia, believe it or not, right? A few years back. Great place, only just full of Mongolians. Other than that, it's great. I love Mongolians, right? They're nice people, right? You know, they all think they're related to Genghis Khan, and I guess they probably are, which is a scary thought in terms of inbreeding. But anyway, so, everyone there is very nice, very affable, and I met, a couple thousand people who were at my event there, and there was a sort of massive meet and greet beforehand, and no one really stuck out, grabbed my attention. Man, woman, they all looked pretty much the same. Then about 30 minutes into this, meet and greet, some guy caught my eye out of 100 yards out. I took one, I'm like, whoa. I'm like, that is the most important man in the room. I bet he's the wealthiest man too. Guess what? Turned out he was then the major senator, a bit politician, the country's most famous athlete. Now he's their president. How did I know that? Well, it wasn't that his suit was so much more expensive. He had a nice suit. It was the way it fit. It was the way he stood. It was the way he held his head. It was just everything. It's just the way he was shaking people's hands. There was a certain way this guy had about him that just commanded respect, and you knew the moment you laid eyes on him that this was a person not only worth listening to, but someone that can help you get shit done, a person of power, an authority figure. Unconscious communication is more powerful than its conscious counterpart. It's much more powerful than words, and it hits you right in the gut. Just remember this. We move through the world, and we can't possibly take in all of the sensory data that's being thrown at us every single minute. In fact, our conscious mind, with its relatively measly processing power, can only take in 4% of the sensory data that comes at us. 96% gets deleted out. It just it can't deal it. So what happens is, remember, 4% is what your conscious awareness is. Right now, you're focused on me. My voice, my words, looking at me, trying to pick up my body gesture cues. Maybe there's a loud noise around you somewhere or something that's just you can't block out. That's it, 4%. Everything else, the pressure of your seat on your ass or your legs, the temperature, the wind on your skin, little clink-clang noise that might have bothered you only a minute ago, they've already been tuned out, habituated out, as the phrase goes. And your brain only goes after that 4% that it deems to be important. The key to remember here is that the other 96% is not lost. That is all stored away almost in like a blueprint fashion in your unconscious mind, which has unlimited processing power. You get it? Unlimited. It's like the hard drive. It's like the Amazon, like their cloud server. Like imagine that. It's like unlimited storage capacity. While your random access memory, that what's on your computer, a little bit, it gets the spinning wheel of death, right? Well, the point is what happens is because of the limited processing power in the conscious mind, everything gets deleted out and then generalized by your unconscious mind, which as it's doing that, it's also beating your heart, keeping your vessels dilated, doing your digestion, everything. It's doing everything, and it's making a perfect blueprinted recollection of everything that you've ever seen, heard, touched, felt, or went through, or experienced in your life. It generalizes that and then lays down these patterns of behavior in your unconscious mind. It's those patterns of behavior, my friend, those patterns are what dictates the gut reactions that we have when we see someone, when we lay eyes on them for the first time, we hear their voice on the phone. It's those patterns that we are looking to hit. So, if we have been conditioned since we're yay big to say, this is how sharp people dress, this is how they stand, this is how winners carry themselves, this is how they talk, this is how they don't talk. That's been conditioned into us, laid down indelibly in our unconscious mind, starting from our very, very early years. We could start talking when you start to talk. So you really have that laid down, right? 2 or 3 years old, even earlier for some of us. And then what happens is, once someone lays eyes on you, it's an instant boom, quarter of a second, bam, to the temporal lobe back here. That's where your brain sees things, your temporal lobe. And a quarter of a second later to the prefrontal cortex where the judgment center of the brain is located, and that's where a decision gets made. I ain't making this shit up, okay? You know it, I'm not. I was a biology and chemistry major, right? But I also study this stuff. It's just true. You can Google it, all right? It happens up here. You can use this to such massive advantage in sales. Because what happens is if you just want to tip the odds dramatically in your favor, dress a certain way, talk a certain way, carry yourself a certain way. How is that way? The way experts do. The way experts do. Don't you want? I don't. Find out what. I don't care what fucking field you're in. Okay? No matter what field you're in, it has a specific way that experts in that field dress and act, and it's different in every industry. The top tennis professional teacher in the world, the guy that Federer would hire, right? He's not dressing like a Wall Street banker, but he's surely not dressing like a schlub. You understand, guys, every industry has their best way of dressing. It's called the law of congruency. You want to dress, act, carry yourself, talk in a way that's congruent with what's expected in your industry. Do this, and I promise you, you set yourself up for this massive downhill ride. Everything gets very easy. Please don't forget this today, tomorrow, all week long, and after that. Your conscious mind is meagerly equipped to deal with this stuff. It's your unconscious mind that's all powerful here.